As far back as the 18th century, Gibson Musical Instrument Co. has been making some of the most well-known guitars in the guitar-making world today. And whether you're a Gibson Kool-Aid drinker or a casual fan, Gibson has cemented itself as a major player, no pun intended, with music history. This is one of my favorite guitars I have in my collection. It's a Gibson R8, one of the vaunted, much-hyped reissues from the Gibson Custom Shop. The Gibson Custom Shop is a premium guitar manufacturing division of Gibson Guitars. You can actually drive to the fabrication building if you're in Nashville. It's a warehouse in Southeast, but don't expect to get in unless you have an appointment or you have some level of fame about you. No, what makes Gibson Custom Shop guitars so different from any other customer-facing line at Gibson is that the quality and detail is significantly better. Now, I've had several Gibsons, and this guitar is above and beyond any standard I've ever played. And I say that having traded two standards to get this one. The Gibson Custom Shop started in the early 90s by my best reckoning. If you were famous or had the scratch, you could always get a custom Gibson, but it wasn't a formality until Gibson introduced its Gibson Historical Division in 1993. The history is long and convoluted. I'll save the formal history for the experts, but needless to say, nowadays, if you have the dough, you can buy some incredible guitars. This Gibson R8 is part of the historic collection, so if you want a guitar made in the style and techniques of a specific year or time period, this is the line of guitars you want. This particular Les Paul is a 1958 reissue. Really thick neck, Gibson custom bucker pickups, they're hot, and a beautiful iced tea finish. We've even got the documentation. Can't be a Gibson nerd without saving all that case candy. Bought originally from Guitar Center, used for the low price of $4,800. You'll notice the case is a beautiful plush velvet. Lifton had history as being Gibson's premier case manufacturer in the 50s and 60s. Here's that logo. Lifton passed away in the early 70s, and Gibson uses it in name only. Hot take, but I'd say generally stay away from the Lifton cases. Gibson started manufacturing them a la carte for those of you who want something premium, but the latches are cheap and they don't always line up with the buckles. It's also not real fake leather, if you know what I mean, and I learned the hard way buying one for my 335 that it wasn't worth the price. Thanks, CME, for having a nice return policy. Back to the guitar, you'll notice flame maple on the top. They don't make R8s with flame anymore. It's an R9 exclusive top nowadays, and I'm one of the few people that isn't a stickler about a book-matched top. That's when the tops are somewhat uniform between the two pieces. But coming in at a top tier 7.5 pounds, this guitar is cream of the crop, in my opinion. Anything 9 pounds or higher is not the Les Paul you want, but everyone has their opinion on the weight. When it comes to the custom shop, though, it is tough to get into. The cheapest guitars are close to $5,000 retail. And some of you may laugh at a price like that, but spending $7,000 on prime guitar real estate is a small price to pay for collectors, Gibson fanatics, and professionals. But to be honest, pros aren't paying the full price anyway. Is a custom shop guitar worth the scratch? If you're a pro player, I think so. But if you're a casual player just trying to determine if you'd ever spend top dollar on a guitar, just go with the things you love. You'll get there eventually. All of us gear junkies do. But the historic collection is just one of the many guitar collections that are under that Gibson Custom Shop umbrella. You have the modern collection, which is more of a innovative line of guitars. The artist collection, dealing with signature instruments. Hey look, a Kirk Hammett-Greene for $20,000. The master artisan collection, and finally the Murphy Lab collection. These are instruments taken to the wood chipper, so to speak, with aged, checked finishes, and roughed up a little bit to mimic playwear. I personally love the 61 335. Wowza, my wife would love if I just bought that one on a whim. But there is the issue of quality control, and I've heard horror stories from many. The custom shop years have ebbs and flows of quality like all the Gibson guitars do, but I've heard rumors from employees/ex-employees that baseline custom shop guitar turnaround is about 100 per day. That doesn't seem like much, but to understand the custom shop doesn't employ that many employees, and 100 a day for the worldwide Gibson market is a lot of guitars. Not every guitar is going to play or feel the same, so do yourself a favor and try it out before you buy it.